The Las Vegas Raiders have been one of the most impacted teams in free agency this offseason, losing key defensive starters and reshaping their roster. With Nate Hobbs gone and questions surrounding the secondary, the front office knows they can't afford to stand still. Jack Jones and Eric Stokes are set to start at cornerback, but depth remains a serious concern. Adding reinforcements is a priority, whether through the draft or free agency. The Raiders are on the clock, and how they address their defense could define their 2025 season. The Las Vegas Raiders have been one of the most heavily impacted teams in free agency this offseason. With nearly half of their defensive starters leaving for new opportunities, the Silver and Black will field a significantly different unit in 2025. While new additions have helped fill some gaps, there's still a long way to go before this defense is playoff ready. According to Ben Rolfe of Pro Football Network, one of the Raiders' most pressing concerns is their cornerback depth. The loss of Nate Hobbs in free agency has left the secondary vulnerable, with Jack Jones and Eric Stokes projected as the starting duo. While talented, both players come with question marks. Jones showed flashes of brilliance last season but has lacked consistency, while Stokes is still working his way back after dealing with injuries in Green Bay. The Raiders' defense was solid but not elite last season, ranking 21st overall, Rolfe wrote. Their cornerback situation is concerning, and they need to target a high-upside CB within the first 2 rounds of the draft, preferably one who can compete for a starting job immediately. Another concern: defensive line depth. The addition of Christian Wilkins was a huge win, but beyond him and Adam Butler, the Raiders are thin on reliable rotational pieces. Any injury to Wilkins could leave the defensive front exposed, making it imperative for Las Vegas to add competition in the later rounds of the draft or explore budget-friendly free agent signings. Jacorian Bennett is another wild card in the secondary. The Raiders are hopeful that the 2023 fourth-round pick can take a step forward, but injuries have plagued his young career. If Bennett, Stokes, or Jones suffer setbacks, the team could find itself in a dire situation, scrambling for reinforcements mid-season. For a Raiders team aiming to be physical, fast, and competitive under head coach Pete Carroll, cornerback depth is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. Whether through the draft, free agency, or a potential trade, Las Vegas must solidify its secondary if it wants to avoid another frustrating year of defensive struggles.